The government's expected to apply much less rigorous checks to goods coming into the UK from the EU than it was initially planning to after the Brexit transition period finishes at the end of the year. And this is the case whether or not there is a deal, according to the Financial Times. Richard Burnett is on the line. He's the Chief Executive of the Road Haulage Association. Morning to you.
Good morning, Justin.
Well, they've listened to you.
Thank God they have. We wrote to Michael Gove at the beginning of the COVID crisis, back in March, saying that there needed to be some sort of delay because business simply wouldn't be ready and it would be looking towards recovery. And we've always talked about an implementation period for transition, and I guess that's exactly what this is going to be. But this is only one side of it. This is the UK. Committing to that sensible and pragmatic approach. We need the EU to do exactly the same.
And from the contacts you've had, and you'll know more about this than most, what are the chances of that happening?
Well, I think at the moment, I guess our sense is that they're stonewalling, they're kind of playing the same tactics that they have. And what that means is that we're going to have to prepare for, a no-deal FTA on this side, and we have to kind of bring off the shelf all of those plans like Operation Brock to park trucks in Kent, just in case we have to adhere to a complete customs process on the other side.
Yeah, but that's what we're looking at, isn't it? So on the other side, lorries won't have to be backed up because they'll just be let through by us. But
correct.
If the EU don't relent, then we will have all those things that we were, as you say, we were once preparing for them. I'm not sure. Are we preparing for them now? Are we prepared enough to do it?
Well, I think what's happening at the moment, we've been head down dealing with COVID, as a nation, and I think that's been the same for government. I think government, are lifting their head and focusing on these things now, and I think those preparations will be underway imminently. My understanding is today is going to be the relaunch, to prepare business and get business ready again and refocus on that challenge because government is intent on us leaving at the end of this year. Brexit is done. This is about transition, and it's about making sure that we're ready. So, the 6-month relaxation as we see it at the moment provides more time for businesses to prepare, for us to prepare.
And it does mean, doesn't it? One of the big fears with the interruption to the food supply network. But actually, if we're not stopping things coming in, including food, then that part of it, which is quite important to an awful lot of people, for obvious reasons, that is no longer a problem.
That's absolutely, and it's been a critical part of the whole COVID crisis, where there has been a food resilience industry forum that has met almost daily to begin with to ensure the flow of food from Europe. 30% of the food that we consume in the UK comes from Europe. And we've maintained a very good flow right the way through. So there shouldn't be any impact from this. But, the big issue is preparing UK businesses to be able to export. We need more customs agents. We understand that there is going to be an expansion of the grants to recruit customs agents, which is good news, but it depends on how big that number is. To recruit 50,000 customs agents for 3 months at the back end of this year in preparation for the change into next year. The cost of that is somewhere in the region of 375 million just for 3 months to have people sitting there ready, to carry out those customs declarations. So we'll have to see the detail of what comes out later today and understand whether or not it's enough at this stage.
Richard Burnett, Chief Executive of the Road Haulage Association. Thank you very much.